All right, so welcome to Back to School Night. My name is Miss Statler, and I will be your student's English teacher for AP English Literature this year. I have AP English Literature periods 3 and 4. My office hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 9:30. This is the time when I have my prep period and I can make phone calls and meet with parents or by appointment. I'm also available before and after school. Now, sometimes the times vary because we have different days. For example, there are many Mondays where we have delayed start. And so our bell schedule is a little different. But most days for third period, I'll be meeting with your students from 10:39 to 11:34. And for fourth period, I will be meeting them first semester from 11:41 to 12:36 because we have second lunch first semester. Then we'll flip and meet a little earlier or a little later. So for my contact information, the best way to contact me is at monique.statler@susdlearns.net. That is my email address, and it is one of the best ways to contact me. If you would like a quicker response, then you can email me via Parent Square, which sends me a little message. I have it as an app on my phone and it'll pop up. You can contact me anytime. I am pretty good about getting back to people pretty soon. Like I tell students, it doesn't matter if you're contacting me late. If I'm asleep, I'll answer when I wake up. Otherwise, I do answer pretty quickly as a turnover if you have questions about, or concerns about anything. So for AP English Literature, I want to start off with a reminder about what it takes to be an AP student. For AP Lit, I'm looking for students to have some creativity, independence, cooperation. They have a determination with what they're doing. They're doing more than what's expected. There may be minimums, but to be more thorough, you often have to go above the minimum. And there is a certain amount of risk taking because for AP English Literature, you have to make your interpretations and talk about what you see in the text. And that can be a little daunting for some people because they're nervous about whether they're correct or incorrect. But like I told the students, we're all bringing our own experience and knowledge to the text that we read. And so our interpretations need to come from us and they can vary. Now, what AP Literature is. Well, AP Literature is more about questions than answers. As we read, we will read text that reflect life. And the fact that life isn't just black and white, that there are shades of gray, that there are a lot of conflicts that arise. Life is about our relationships, but it's also about like what do people do? What makes people who they are? How do you deal with bumps along the road? I find that a deep dive into literature helps us to examine society and humanity. You see, when we look at the literature, I always joke with my students that lit is life because it's just a reflection of life. And we can, in literature, learn about parts of life that maybe we didn't know about before. We can learn what we don't want as well as some of what we might. But it also asks us to question who we are in relation to our family and our friends and our society and help us to be stronger in our convictions. Now, AP Literature is also a place to become scholars and build community. Because we deal with a lot of issues that happen in everyday life, we have very open conversations about the characters and how they deal with things and what these poems reflect. And we can have a lot of great dialogue where we can talk about why our opinions are what they are and why our readings are what they are. It is fast paced. As an AP class, we do have quite a lot of skills that we are working on. And so students are going to be required to read at home and to do homework. AP literature is also eye-opening, and it will change the way that your children view stories, hopefully forever. I hope that my students walk out with a love of literature and with the knowledge that, like I said, lit is life. And in that, in literature, we can find questions and we can find answers. So it is AP, Advanced Placement English Literature. So there will be an AP test at the end of the year. If your student earns a 3, 4, or 5 on the AP test in May, he or she may not have to take the introductory class in college, which can save money and time in school. Studies show that even if students do not pass the test, that they still, having taken AP English Literature, do much better in their classes later on in college because of the skills that we learn and we build in class. Now, one of the things that I really, really stress is that communication is key. And like I said a little earlier when I was talking about contacts, students and parents may come to my office hours before or after school or ask if I'm available for an evening Zoom for help. I am a single mother and I have 2 daughters who are 7 and 10. And so there are some evenings where I'm not available because I'm, parenting. But there are many evenings when I am available. And if a student needed, I'm happy to jump on Zoom even after my kids get to bed, with little questions. I also have students communicate with me through the remind messages, and the students themselves can send me a message through that app. And again, I get those remind messages on my phone. And because of that, I can answer the questions about homework, even if it's like 9 or 10 at night. Sometimes I'll have students message me, and if I'm awake, I will answer. Something that I stress is that I do have high expectations, but I also offer a great deal of support. We are working hard and we're on this journey together. And it's my job to help students be as successful as they can. And it's the student's job to always try to the best of their ability. As long as they are putting that effort in, then I can help move them further than where they were when they came into my classroom. And everybody's goals are a little different. But I do really work hard to support students with what they need. Now, as far as what we're going to read, here are some of the works arranged by unit. Right now, we're currently in a short story unit where we're looking at 3 short stories: Woman Hollering Creek, Invisible Man, and The Paper Menagerie, which are very short stories. And then we are looking at poetry from writers of color and actually writers who are immigrants to the United States. And we're going to look at that theme and see what are the stories of immigrants and what are the commonalities and differences between our experiences coming to the US and also possibly as children of immigrants as well. Then we next we'll move on to reading In the Time of the Butterflies and Othello, as well as some romantic poetry. We are going to read the play Fences and the novel The Color Purple, the novella The Metamorphosis, and the novel The Stranger. We'll be anchoring a lot of our units with various philosophical texts. So we read Plato and Camus and a little Aristotle in order to help us to think about those big questions that come up with humanity. And then when we read our texts, we'll see how those questions might be answered and how they might be explored within the text themselves. And then we work also with contemporary poetry as well as the older poetry. I find that it's very important for students to read living writers, and poetry is the best way that we can do that. So thank you so much. I'm so lucky to be your child's English teacher this year. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Otherwise, I look forward to a wonderful year with your students. Thank you so much.